let's talk procrastination, where you know what you should be doing, but you're not doing it, or you do the thing where you say, I'll just take a quick break, or I just watch this movie or listen to this podcast just so it's out the way, and then you can really, sit down at your desk and focus, do the things you want to do, and then you sit at the desk and you're still spinning your wheels, going round in cycles, putting it off, and there is a little, it's almost like a flow chart that happens. So this is just an example. Some of it you might resonate and recognize, but you have your to-do list item. Then you might go, oh, you know what, I'm a bit thirsty. Let me just make myself a drink or a cup of herbal tea. Then you might go, and I've had people say, oh, didn't brush my teeth or haven't had a shower. Let me do that so I can really then focus. A phone call might come in. So you have the phone call, maybe there's an action that comes out of that, or they say they're going to email you. So you say, oh, let me just check if they sent the email. While you're on email, well, might as well have a quick look at Messenger, and maybe let me just check my Facebook, my social media really quickly so it's out of the way. After that, well, there's been quite a lot of activity, so you maybe have a break. And before you know it, you're back into that place in the space where the day is almost over. You've potentially failed again. You haven't done the things that you want to do. You say you're going to do differently tomorrow, and the whole cycle persists. So if you're looking for a way to break through that cycle and identifying what are the key pieces of this puzzle for you, because procrastination goes way beyond just putting things off. There is a lot of underlying stuff, and the good news is what I'm talking about here is available on demand at the click of a button. So you could get started as soon as now and be breaking through those tasks. And every single time you complete something and take a step in the right direction, celebrate that thing, because that in and of itself creates a dopamine hit, and you feel good and you want to go on and you want to do the next thing. So that's why we always talk about the celebration piece. And this is about the joy of ticking things off the list. And of course, we are going way beyond the usual, to-do list, blah, blah, blah. And we're talking about moving things from that to-do list to the doing list and to the done list. And I had a client that I worked with recently who had been putting off the tax return, was always late, facing the fines, etc., and had some important paperwork they'd had sitting there for a couple of, pushing up to a couple of years. After one online session, tax return done several weeks in advance, the letters, correspondence, all sorted, done, and that feeling of overwhelm had lifted. And you can be in that place in the space where not only do you feel good about doing the task, you're actually excited or even happy to do it. And with this particular client, because their partner was always the one who finished first, they overtook them. So their partners, they're like, right, I'm on it. And of course, because it's me, Marilyn Devonish, the transformation specialist, the NeuroSuccess coach, we're going beyond the usual stuff of, practicalities, lists and strategies. I'm not saying that's not important. We also delve into the different facets of this. So the mindset, the beliefs, the psychology of it, how to utilize the mind. And if you want details, go to bit.ly/banish-procrastination-on demand. In terms of the objectives, common causes of procrastination, the fears that hold people back, the trouble spots, actually the positive benefits of procrastination, and then showing you how you can create a personalized plan. We're also looking at some of the fallout, the overwhelm, fear, guilt, anxiety, shame that comes with the procrastination, and some of the telltale signs, the shuffling of papers, working without priorities, excessive amounts of preparation, and we're looking at the 12 biggest fears. The fears are then what feed into and create the worry, the stress and anxiety. We're also going to be looking at the limiting beliefs that can underpin this and hold this in place, and not just looking at it, but resolving some of those. So yes, there is HUNA, Huna. It travels far and wild and via the recordings as far afield as Australia. I'm here in the UK, and I'm also going to share with you tools and techniques and strategies and practical things as well. And with some of these tools, you probably have a few of these lying around the house already. So just go find them when we talk about them on the workshops. and it creates the domino effect. We're doing these one or two, often very simple things that then creates the knock-on effect. So in terms of strategies, I'm going to share a couple quickly with you. One of my favorite strategies is clearing a space. So even if you have lots of clutter, I am talking about finding a spot, finding a space and clearing that. The reason that is important, it creates what I call head space and a feeling of tranquility. It's like a vortex opens up in your home or office and you create an oasis right there. And it doesn't have to be somewhere, big. And as I said, I'm not talking about, redoing the whole house, but just doing this one thing is a game changer. So it could be you just clear an armchair, corner of a table, end of the sofa. So if you are ready to start dealing with procrastination, let's get to it. Also, one of the things I talk about on the workshop is the no prescription, because if you've got no time for family, friends, hobbies, rest, relaxation, once you get clarity on what on earth is going on with you with regards to this whole thing that we call procrastination, you can start saying yes to the things you actually really want to do. And with this, the way this workshop is structured, you can either do it a piece here and a piece there, a couple of hours here, a couple of hours there, or you could sit down and treat it as though you are at the live virtual workshop. So mark out the date in your calendar, set the time aside, do the exercises as we're doing the exercises. This is on demand, it's pre-recorded. Take a break when we take a break. Have your lunch when we have lunch. Answer the questions when I'm asking the questions. And if you happen to be watching this when I'm offering the hybrid live, then you can be putting your questions in the chat and I will answer those questions in real time behind the scenes while you're watching the recording. And I know people love free stuff, particularly in the current climate. So you also have the opportunity to buy the equivalent of 1 or 2 courses and get over 60. That is 60 free of charge. So the decision on that one is yours. But if you wanted to supersize yourself, bit.all-access-pass-pa-tc, you have the option of joining monthly, quarterly, annually, or doing a lifetime deal. One payment, all access pass, over 60 workshops, and those workshops will be growing because as I run new courses materials, the replay recordings get added to the all access pass virtual learning library. So really, for less than the price of a cup of coffee per day, or in my case, a cup of herbal tea, you could have all of that at your fingertips. So if you know the time to act is now, you're fed up of procrastination, not just getting in the way of opportunities, but also with the confidence and self-esteem stuff that comes with that. You are the director of your life. Yes, I'm the woman behind the camera, Marilyn Devonish, but you, if you want to, it's time now for you to decide, do you want to take control and do it now? As I said, this is online, on demand, so you can be anywhere in the world. You can take this workshop at the time that is right for you, and it's all available right there on demand. And also it might be that this isn't something that you necessarily need, although there may be in the other 65 workshops at the moment, but if you know someone who could benefit, please feel free to share. Also keep in touch on social media. It's at or / Marilyn Devonish, MarilynDev for Victor, ONISH. Main website is transformationstm.com. Click the red watch new button. Once you land, a panel will slide out. You'll see what's happening. And left hand side, join my e-newsletter list if you're not already on there, because that's where you get the priority pricing, the free gifts and invitations to test out new material. So if you're ready to start right now, head on over to the bit.ly site / Banish - procrastination - on demand and start celebrating those wins, no matter how small you think they are, because they are exponential. Once you've done one thing, your brain then starts to go, well, hold on a minute, I've just achieved this, what else can I do? And you start stepping into those new tasks like a boss. So if you're ready, not just to get off the starting grid, depending on your starting point, and take those projects past the finish line, get yourself signed up and join us. www.bit.ly/banish-procrastination-on-demand. We would love to work with you. It's going to be amazing. And my name is Marilyn Devonish, and your virtual place awaits. I look forward to seeing you there. Thank you for joining me, and thank you for watching. Thank you for listening, and thank you for sharing. Catch you all later.